Hello everybody, welcome to my video. Today playing on Amiga today. See on the screen, playing Tremendous game. It's a Build Tomato game, my third favourite game of all time. This is going to be the second part of a two-part series of this amazing game. 50 levels all been done, 50 levels still to go, and of course these ones have been all difficult in the first half. But anyway, we're going to start off with 951. The password is already in the box. The password is Glonal. Hit the enter button, and we're going on to theme 6, level 1, aka 51. Let's go. Okay, with 5 themes done and 50 levels completed, we're technically halfway through this game, but we're not out of the woods yet. There's 10 themes in this game with 10 levels of each. But anyway, each time we finish a theme and no one's introduced, of course, the higher the level, the higher is the reach. Don't fall too far. On we go. Okay, resume play with the game. This is Build Tomato game, a puzzle game for the Amiga designed by Bill Pullen and published by Psygnosis in 1992. Music done by Mike Clark. The concept of the game is similar to that of Sierra's Incredible Machine. A planned Sega Mega Drive port was cancelled, but a prototype cart exists that was released online in the year 2014. So this is technically theme 6, and this is level 51. Got some nice ideas, this one, but yeah, including teleportation, this one's got a difficult opening one. Basically, try and jump through the portal. The trouble is, these portals on the left and the right do move at different speeds. The combination of the fans and the trampoline, jump through the portal at the right time, and there's your level code. Okay, level 52. The rules are simple. Get Terry Tomato for the launch pad at the start of the screen to reach the conveyor belt at the end of the screen. Do it limited number of tries, limited number of time, and limited number of skills, which is different per stage. And this level did actually feature on a 5-level demo of issue 47 of CU Amiga, which of course I do have, played it to death back in the day. It looks worse than it is, but you've got to use quite a lot of your additional skills. But some areas, sometimes, it's quite difficult to pinpoint where it is actually best to put your items, and sometimes there's not very many places where you can put them. But the camera stages do also feature buttons, including this one, which of course opens up the hatch at the start. So a great stage, it really is a nice theme, this one. There's your password. Level 53. Now of course in this game, some levels are done by one single screen and some they scroll. But anyway, in this game, you're only limited to 4 items, including the electrical fan, which can boost and alter your tomato's trajectory. So for this one, we've got to try and jump through the bird portal. I suppose it's quite similar to Oddworld 8's Odyssey. However, we're not saving my Docklands, we're saving Terry Tomato. That and the lovely life Tracy for an evil squirrel. But there we go, Patton is your password. Level 54. Other items having a possession is Tomato Trampoline. Terry bounces up and down on the trampoline. The higher you drop onto it, the higher it bounces back off of it. Sounds pretty straightforward, although make sure the initial drop not too far or Terry goes splat. This one took quite a few lives when we first got here, but yes, some enemies, of course, do what they do best, but some you can actually make contact with and some you cannot. On this one, you can make contact with the chain, you can't make contact with the ball. But there we go, we are having a ball, and there is the password. Level 55. Also in this game, you have the blocking block, which hangs around blatantly, ignoring anything around it. Terry to hit it from the side, hit it like a brick, and drop down to the floor. If Terry to hit it from the top, it will roll on the box without even bouncing. And for a level like this, when it comes to defying gravity, it very much helps. So you've got to try and have a well-timed block and a well-timed bounce and 2 well-timed right-pointed fans. And hopefully get to the top, you get some points in the process. Each level, you have a limited amount of tries. If you run out of tries, you lose a life. Run out of time, you also lose a life. If all 3 lives are lost, the game is over. But this game doesn't have a password system. Right, turn around, go up to the top. There you go. Brilliant. Well done, Terry. So there we go, like an 80s disco. Trippy times ahead for Mr. Terry Tomato. We arrive at level 56. Again, some really nice ideas for this theme. But yes, even the belt has a habit of moving around from time to time. All we need is 2 well-timed bounces and a well-timed land. And of course a good dismount. We've done all that. Claven. Level 57. Now, this theme has got some really nice ideas, but also got its fair share of difficult stages. This is a difficult stage. Many lives have been lost over the years on this one. But anyway, it's the first one of this theme with extended screen. Of course, you can drag it left or right like that. But yes, what makes this difficult? Yes, Let's Play Darts. The Stream Edition is these darts are very difficult to avoid. There's not many areas you can put your items down and they're safe and secure. The slides of touches from anything enemy-wise, and it's taken out of the equation. Now, if you've already got something on your cursor when it's taken away, it'll go back into your box. If there's nothing on your cursor when it's taken away, it will then become your cursor, then you'll try and put it down again. But basically we need 3 successful bounces, which is a case of waiting for the right time, waiting for the area to be clear, and then place it down. And of course, once it's out of your possession, it's at risk. But as long as you've got it in 3 areas where it's safe, then you've got to pick the right time. I'm going to place this one just below the rainbow. But yes, not really many attempts, but of course, some levels, some stages, you can actually pick up items which will give you more additional tries. But of course, you can stop it in mid-go, which also does count as a go. Right, that was actually not too shabby, but we're not out of the woods yet. But yeah, pattern-wise, I don't think there is one. But yeah, a lot of trial and error on this one, but I'm fairly happy with that. There you go, +1 is your password. Level 58, another challenging stage. It looks the bee's knees, but yes, many lives have been lost on this one also. Right, also on the possession, we've got the Jeremy Jack in the box. When Terry crosses the centre of Jeremy's box, out he pops and throws Triple Tomato up into the air. Very handy to get additional plates. And we are surrounded by 3 turbines, needing as much height as you can get. Now this game and Lemmings, I put it in the same category, as it's amazing how much I've actually changed my tactics over the course of playing this game. This level in particular, I was always putting the 3 fans on the left hand side, and yes it did work, but putting one slightly ahead of the pack does work better, I feel. Still challenging though. Anyway, we've got over the first problem. Now we're going to try and make the last dash to freedom. We're going to use the blocks by creating a little staircase. And of course, we want it to be a nice smooth path for Mr. Terry. Now also, if you put a right pointed fan in the path of a left pointed fan, it might take some of the sting out of the fan on the left. Because it's 3 against 1. But of course, it might change its situation. But we'll do a little test run. In fact, I think it has. In the meantime, in fact, I'll put that there. Also, we need the final push. We're going to use a well-timed, well-bounced for a trampoline. Hopefully, that should be the majority of it done. But we're still getting that top right turbine. This game has a lot of turbines, a lot of blades, a lot of deadly situations. But we're getting through it, though. Done. Level 59. Great stage, but not one of my favourites, this one. Lots of lives have been lost on this one also. It's a steady screen once again. Lots of area to cover, lots of items, lots of time and lots of go. But it does take quite a lot of time to put all items in place. But every item you have, we're going to use all of them. They don't have any blocks on this one, because it's more enough blocks on the screen. But yes, you've got to try and put all your fans in the right locations, but sometimes it's difficult to put them in the right locations, there's not a lot of places to put them. We've only got 1 right pointed fan, there's only 1 place it can go, right there. We've also got 3 Jeremy Jack boxes, more clowns in this level is on a circus. Going to put one right there. But even that is quite close. Right, put one on there. We don't want any Terry Tomatoes hitting his head on ceilings or walls, but Jeremy's going to have the final say once again, put him there. And what is a puzzle without trampolines? But also, we don't want too much of a bounce. I'm going to move that forward just to be sure. That's pretty much it. I think we've used up everything. Now we're just going to biscuit for a biscuit. We've got 43 attempts and we've got 500 seconds. Right, move that back a little bit more. It's only be a fraction each time. But it can be killed by your fans. There's a mystery when it doesn't happen once and all of a sudden it does. Right, that was very close. Right, so we're going to move that forward a little bit more. Move that forward and maybe up a bit more. If you get the middle of the fan, you get the full impact of it. Right. Bingo, bingo. Brilliant. I'm happy with that one. Fantastic. So we had 54 attempts and 475 seconds. Level 60. We've arrived at the final one of this theme, and what a level it's been. Anyway, another nice idea. What are you thinking to yourself? Where's the belt? Well, it's currently not on screen. You have 3 buttons. You've got to hit the one on the left and the one on the right, but don't touch the one in the middle. That actually cancels out both buttons. We want to try and keep both of the eyes open, which puts the belt in place. Like that. Nice idea. On we go to the next theme. Another one successfully done. Well done, Terry Tomato. But once again, another theme is completed. It starts off at the base of the vine. But yes, apparently it's called a vine. It's a vine in the instruction book. I've been calling it a beanstalk for years. I suppose a beanstalk is quite extreme. It takes up a lot of space, isn't it? And that's exactly where we're going. We're heading over to space. Kill the penguin and take a big jump to freedom. Level 61, we arrive in space. Bill's part of the game is a puzzle game, similar to ones of the Incredible Machine series. Completely mouse control. The game is divided into a series of non-scrolling screens, each one being a puzzle. The main objective is to move the anthropomorphic tomato from the left side of the screen to the conveyor belt on the other side. Several objects hinder your progress by squishing, perforating, exploding, destroying the tomatoes. In order to solve these levels, you pick various gadgets at the bottom of the screen and place them according to your strategy. And we've got to try and avoid this massive asteroid. A large enemy, but plenty of space to work with. See what I did there? Level 62. Now the first time I saw this one, I thought to myself, well, this is straightforward, all we do is jump over the pole. But no, there's a bit more to it than that. Now of course, the initial jump at the start of every level is different per stage. Sometimes it's a big jump, sometimes it's a low jump, sometimes jumping from the left, sometimes jumping for the right. But on this one, I decided to give him a small jump, so you need a combination of a left and right pointed fan to try and get over that pole. But when you're falling from that pole, make sure the drop's not too big, because like lemmings, Terry and lemmings can't fall large distances. But yes, it's quite a nice idea though, but yeah, it's quite challenging also. But plenty of attempts and plenty of time. Fantastic, got a token at the end, but there we go, fantastic. Level 63, good old Space Invaders, cannot argue with that. However, not defending Earth from Space Invaders, in fact we're avoiding the Space Invaders altogether. We do this by using one well-timed left-pointed fan and two well-positioned trampolines. Now the trick is here to try and leave the initial jump as late as possible. One bounce, two bounce, and on we go, give it. Level 64, now on this one, Terry Tomato does start off at quite a higher plane. So we're going to put the one and only left-pointed fan at the top left section, so they're both safe up there. Unfortunately, your two one and only trampolines are not safe down here. I've got these fireballs to worry about. Now, whether there's actually a pattern to these, I'm not sure. But basically, it's one of those ones, once again, got to hold the item in your cursor, plan it well, time it well, and make those two bounces count. But yes, wait for the right time. There's not many opportunities to make your move. So we need two successful jumps and pick up a B at the end. Bingo. Level 65. Right, the enemy itself isn't the largest of enemies, but it does cover a large area, which makes it very difficult to try and get from A to B. We want to try and get the maximum jump possible with only 3 left-pointed fans and 1 trampoline. But yeah, it does cover a lot of area. In fact, if anything hits Terry directly to the face, even on the launch pad, but you want to try and position your trampoline around about here. The problem is, there's not many opportunities to make your move. 29 attempts and 120 seconds remain, but yeah, not many opportunities. It's a case of wait for the right time, hold the item in your cursor, place it and go for it. But yes, you might get hit by the blades, you might survive the blades, but the jump is quite an extreme jump. So yeah, it's certainly the waiting game here. And also you do need a little bit of luck with those. But we got a ring out of it and we reached the goal. Fantastic. Flayed in is your password. Level 66, the goal is in our sight, but let's test his height. With 50 attempts, it's pretty much in line with the top of that cloud. So right, place it right there. It's quite similar to the last level in a way, because once again it's down to timing, but at least this time we have one additional trampoline. But yes, I'm assuming these are moons. So the one in the middle you can actually use the platform. The other two I don't think so. No one wants to get the moon to the face. It's certainly not a nice way to go. No one should go like that. But yes, just hold the item in your possession, wait for the right time, and make the quick dash to the go button. You've got to be quick about it. Click, drag and go. 49 attempts should be plenty. Right, that answers my theory there. So maybe you can, maybe you can't. But either way, you've got to avoid it. So click on it again, wait for the right time, pick a moment well, and go for it. But yeah, you've got to be quite quick on this one. 48. Bingo. The goal is there. Level 67. The theme itself is very good, they all are. But I wouldn't say this one's as difficult as the one we just did. But it's got some nice features. But yes, every single level in this game is based around these fans. In fact, you cannot complete any levels in this game without the fans. I suppose the fans are the most important thing. That and Terry himself. But yes, you don't actually get that many attempts, not much time. But yes, the more you progress into this game, they drop significantly. But yes, time it well and get to the exit door. And there we go. Fantastic. To infinity and beyond, we arrive at level 68. Now these two rockets are absolutely gigantic and they are slow moving, but these will depart and arrive on screen. But we're going to use this time wisely and get our 3 left pointed fans in the right location and we're going to place our jack-in-the-box in the middle. Once again down to timing, not marvellous theme. The player has a limited number of gadgets, but the time constraint is on place on screen. The tomato movement can be stopped and started by pressing the red or green lights. The objects move independently with their own timing. And timing was great there. Fantastic. Knew that is our code. Okay, the voyage is going well. We arrive at level 69. We're not too far away from the end of this theme, but we've got this difficult one in its way. It hasn't been many for this theme like this, but we've got to use multiple jack-in-the-boxes. Place one there. Pick up the star, we shall. Pick up the coin, we will. But rule number 1, we've got to get to the exit door. Place that one there, and the last hurrah is going to be down to this trampoline, which hopefully can be well timed. Of course, we'll turn around by using the classic blocking and the right pointed fan. It might work perfectly, maybe, but there's a lot of trial and error in this once again. But also, if a item you put down also makes contact with one of the tokens, it also gets taken away. Right, and that was a nasty way to go. I'm going to move the fan closer, move the trampoline closer, maybe move the block closer or down a little bit as well. 43 attempts, should be plenty of time as well. A little bit of hesitation, but he's there. And there's our code. Okay, we arrive at level 70, the final one of this theme, but we're not done yet. Anyway, 2 left-pointed electrical fans, check. 1 Jeremy Jack in the Box, check. And 1 trampoline, check. And 1 spaceship finder swirling with laser at long range, check. Roll time jump needed, check. Right, click and go. And pick up a star at the end. Success, check. Password, check. Done. Move on to the next theme, on we go. Okay, here we go again. Another theme is done, 70 levels done, 7 themes done, and resulting in a higher climb. And it's a deadly climb now. There's so many enemies all over the place. We're going to the extreme, going from space to under the sea. Keep it going. There's a lot of enemies around here. Level 72, another great stage, great music, great visuals, and of course the challenge. I expect nothing more, nothing less here in terms of difficulty for this theme. A lot more difficult than the one we just did, but it's fantastic. The first ever time I finished this game was the mid to late 90s, but yeah, this is the sort of game I can't just play for like 10-15 minutes, I can play for hours upon time. Back in the day I did. But anyway, we'll try and get past this hazard. We've got rubbish, there's rubbish everywhere, anything from a bicycle tire to an old boot, a piece of wood, even some sort of container that has some sort of toxic chemical. It's here. We're going to get up there with the help of a Jeremy Jack in the Box. And that's one horrendous jump, but it's exactly what we needed. But there's your password. Level 73. Now, the first time I saw this one back in the day, I thought to myself, really? Is that it? There's actually more to it than you think. Basically, yes, it's fairly small and harmless, but it's basically a pufferfish. As soon as you hit the launch button, it basically quadruples in size. It's still not too bad though. It probably is the easiest one of this theme, but yes, it's quite difficult only having just the one fan. The 2 well-timed bounces, one to get over the pufferfish and one to get to the exit door. Just time it well, basically. But yes, not too bad at all. There we go. The password is slave on. Level 74. This one is difficult. Now we've got to worry about this electric eel. What makes this one very difficult is, like the level that featured in the space theme, it does move around quite a lot. But this time, this one actually does tamper with quite a lot of the items you're putting down because it's so close to the exit door and so close to the starting point. So yes, your Jack in the Box is going to be taken away, your block is going to be taken away, and your fan is going to be taken away. And when that happens, you better be ready to put them back in place. But you've got to be quite quick on the placements. So, not a lot of attempts, not much time. But of course, your items will be getting taken away all the time. But yeah, we want to try and keep that a little bit more closer. That will take it away. So get your items ready, not ready. So there, and pick up a diamond at the end. Bingo, just. It took my items away, but there we go. Fantastic. Level 75, actually 10 to 1 in the morning, I'm crazy. But anyway, I have to admit, wasn't a fan of this one back in the day. This one took quite a lot of life. In fact, there's actually 2 of them like this in this theme. And both of them I'm not a fan of because of the same reason. They have these dipped platforms. So it's very easy to get stuck in that platform. So you need to have plenty of power in your movements. So having plenty of fans is the way to go. Right, we've got 40 attempts to do a little dummy run and see what happens. And as expected, you get stuck in the grooves. Now what I tend to use here are 2 well-placed blocks. And yes, the block in between the block is a big space and you're going to get stuck in there. So I'm going to place it on there, but of course now we've got to try and move him back the other direction. It's always difficult when you've got 1 fan blowing in one direction where 2 more or 1 more fan is present. There's always the risk of being hit by your own fans. Right, now it's going to be the finishing touches now. We're going to put 1 Jack in the Box there, and we've got quite a lot of trampolines. Trouble is, in a very confined space, you're going to limit your bounce. Also, you don't want too much bounce anyway. That is pretty much all you can see and do, but we have got a few additional trampolines. But we do need more additional power, so we'll move that forward a fraction. Not overly much, so there's not much space to work with. Down we go. Not quite. So we need to move this one forward a little bit more. But of course, we can't move it forward very more. Otherwise, it's going to be a very, very deadly experience with Mr. Terry Tomato. And speaking of deadly tomatoes, in fact, this box that I've got has actually got the original tomato ketchup sachet in it. It might be slightly past its sell-by date. Possibly. But if I've got 2 of them, in fact I've got 3 manuals in the box. Yes. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Bingo. There we go. That was probably the easiest of the 2, but another one still remains. Level 76. The game is fully mouse control and requires the player to guide Terry the Tomato up the vine of semi-squirrel to his girlfriend Tracy for the squirrel's villainous clutches. The vine consists of 10 worlds and 10 levels in each, and each level is represented by a non-scrolling screen, in which the main objective is to create a path for Terry's one and only jump from one side of the screen to the other. Level completion has occurred when Terry makes a successful jump without touching the ground and reaching his destination, and not being killed by any additional enemies. In this case, 3 barrels, even though back in the day I actually thought these were tubes of cotton. But we've got to try and avoid the tubes of cotton or the barrels and get to the exit door. 1 jump to get over the first one, 1 to get over the second. The top wasn't a big deal. My car is your password. Level 77, another great stage. We've got 240 seconds and 40 lives. But anyway, going to put the fan there. We'll try and get the maximum speed possible on one like this. Right, now of course we don't have many additional skills, but we do have 2 additional blocking blocks. That is the first important part. Now what I tend to do in this one, I tend to put the items right on the base of the screen, literally on that line. But yes, the final push can be done by a lift from a MJG box. But yes, also, when you're landing from a big height, even though it's something spongy, in this case it's not really, make sure it is not too far. It will squelch if it drops too far. But yes, we'll try and avoid this massive anchor. Right, we need more power. That and that space to be reduced. 36 tenths. I don't know if we're getting the right amount of power from the fan. 1 fan is not really a lot for what needs to be done. We get down a fraction more. Get in the middle of the fan and get the full work from it. Right. That looks good. It is good. There is our password. Pardon. Level 78. This is another one which I was not a fan of back in the day, and this is also the one I mentioned quite recently in this video, which is much more different than the one that was similar to this. And for the same reason, it took many, many lives. It's due to those dip platforms once again. Now, there's multiple ways you can do it, but both of them can be a bit difficult, but I'm fairly happy with that. But yes, sometimes your character gets stuck in his platform, but that time he didn't. But yes, sometimes if I can't get through it, that we use the trampoline technique, but it does take longer. Of course, now it's going to be a big sudden drop, but we've got to try and push him back the other way. And because it's a sudden drop, we can actually move the fans forward closer a little bit more. Now we've got to try and get Terry Tomato to the exit door. We want that last push for freedom to be a nice successful one with no additional worries. So we're going to use a combination of the MJG box and of course many trampolines on this one. Don't want too much of a bounce, we want a reasonable amount to get over there. And get up there. We want a good, well-timed bounce. And we're going to use a nice smooth platform at the end of this, because I'm quite generous like that. And we also need to put a block there as well. Now, it won't run smoothly, perfectly every single time, but it might get a reasonable amount down. But I've never ever managed to do this one first time, but that's not too bad. But we do have 41 seconds. Now, if you do run out of attempts and run out of time, basically reset. And then all your work is then taken away. But it's been a few times in the old days where I was literally within a whisker away of finishing it. And then of course it restarts and then all your items take away, and then of course you cannot remember where you put them and you end up putting them in a different place for the second time around. Or third time around. Right, gonna put it up there. That should be good. Come on, Terry Tomato, show me the way to go home. Oh, it's so close. It's unbelievably close. Right, okay. Up there, up there, up there. The trouble is, we ain't got a lot of space to work with. But of course, bringing it up higher, it always have to risk hitting the fans. There you go. Not expertly done, but we go with that. 105 seconds remain. Level 79. Now, on first inspection, it probably doesn't look too bad. I suppose in a way, it's not really too bad. If I don't make contact with any of these 4 mines, then what happens is, if you make contact with any one of them, of course it's going to explode. But what happened then is basically another one will respawn, and it will appear from the top of the screen, make its way down the screen, and position itself at its resuming point. anything makes contact with during that situation is going to be taken away. And also, when it explodes, bubbles are also flowing into the mix, and also any of those makes contact any of your item put down are also taken away. Avoid all that, and you're good to go. There we go. Fantastic. Level 80. Right, now we've got to try and get past these clams. Is it clams? Seashells, basically. This can be done by using a big jump at the start and a big jump in the middle, by using our one and only Jack in the Box. Not too bad for a last one of this theme, but it has been a very difficult theme, but the next two are even more difficult than this. But basically, we've got 17 attempts left, which is not a lot really, but we need one well-timed bounce. We need a fraction more, might bring that forward a fraction more, just give it one little push. Like that. There you go, on we go to the next theme. Another theme successfully completed, 20 more levels remain. They've actually counted the branches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 branches. That's one extreme climb. There's so many enemies. Go over to theme 8. Okay, we arrive at theme 8, level 81 is in our sights, and it's difficult. This theme and the next theme are extremely difficult, but certainly doable, but it doesn't give you a lot of attempts on this one. You've got 15, but we do have these throwing stars. We've got to use our 2 limited skills to try and get the timing absolute perfection. But it is so doable, and we get some points and some more additional goes at the end. Level 82. Not a fan of this one, never have been. Lots of lives will be lost on this one. But what I tend to do on this one, I tend to use the background, a little bit of a guide. But one near his left foot, one near the edge of the left picture frame, one to the right side of the picture frame. But we've got to try and get around this corner, which is very difficult because the more you keep bouncing, eventually you're going to lose your height. But you've got to try and then get over there, get around that bend, and then hopefully have enough power, which is no easy task, to make it over to the belt. But yes, you can be hitting your head on the ceiling all the time, so it's going to be very difficult to try and keep that bounce going. But we do have, and it doesn't seem like enough really, 2 right pointed fans. We're going to get the absolute maximum power from that. So to keep the bounce going, we're going to put a Jack in the Box right there, again, right on the base of the floor. But yes, hitting your head on the ceiling is going to take the sting out of it. So we're going to have to put these trampolines in place. And it all depends how much power we get. But yeah, this last dash for freedom is always the most tricky part for me. But yeah, it's very rare I ran out of attempts. I always ran out of time. You're spending quite a lot of time waiting for things to happen. And it might be the quick adjustment here, the quick tweak there. That's what you need to do to achieve this one. But the first one of this scene with an extended screen. Wasn't actually that many, if there was any, in that last scene. Right, move it forward a fraction more. 160 seconds and 40 attempts we have remaining. Yeah, we're not getting a lot of power, we're not getting a lot of bounce. In fact, there's nothing there whatsoever. Move it forward, we just need one little bounce. Something to work with. We'll go with that, I'm happy with that, but it was difficult. 39 attempts remain. Level 83. Now when I first attempted that one I just did, I got stuck on that for about an hour and a half. It took me ages to get past it, but once I did, I was then provided with this one. And I was absolutely delighted because, of course, this was also one of those levels that featured on the 5-level demo of the CU Amiga 47 issue. And this was the 4th level, so this one I had a lot of experience with, a lot of attempts at, so I knew it very well. To see that after I got stuck on for so long, I was quite pleased. Okay, 84. Just your average size screen. You're taken up by 2 gigantic sizes, like the ones that Raphael uses in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but a much larger size. But anyway, we've got 2 left-pointed fans and we've got 2 trampolines. But yes, timing. It's always down to timing for a level like this. Not a lot of time, even less tries. But let's get through these evil sizes. You don't want one of these poking your eyeball. You're going to get poked by one of these bad boys. So it's timing. Avoid that one. Avoid that one. You can land on the handle, but hopefully you can handle that. Go for it. Bounce, bounce, and a perfect land. Level 85. Very uppy downy sort of one once again. So we're going to use 1 left pointed fan. We're going to use 1 left pointed fan over to the other side. The rest is going to be done by using a combination of Jack-in-the-Boxes and trampolines, of course. Just place them well, time it well. We don't really sort of need the blocking block from here, but they are quite handy in their own ways. But this can be done like that. Only 15 attempts, not a lot really to work with. But you have to try and work with this a little bit more. To bring it down a fraction, sometimes it only can be handed down to. Just a little bit of a tweak. Up a little bit more. 18 attempts. Time. Not a lot of time. Could do a little more, but that is fine. There you go. Pimmel is your password. Level 86. Right, we have got quite a lot to do on this one. We've got 3 additional hazards to worry about. And the one at the start is probably the most difficult to get past. I'm not sure what the thing is in the middle, but at the end, someone has dumped a bomb on the belt. Which does look like the ones that Bomb Jack would use. So I'm going to assume he is the culprit. We're going to put the jacket box on top of the window. We've got to try and hit that button, which will detonate the bomb. If you don't reach the belt in a limited amount of time, it will be back in place again. Now, I'm not quite sure what happened though, but yes, we exploded when we hit the button. But anyway, we'll try and avoid these, wherever they are, and avoid that, whatever it is, and get past that situation. But yes, I'm trying to experiment with these lights. But yes, I think it's best when the green overlaps the red. But then you've got to make sure the one in the middle, whatever that thing is not going to be in your way. Looks good. It is good. Fantastic. Level 87, make some good ground. Now being attacked by the evil chopsticks. Got to avoid them all costs. Going to use 2 electrical left point fans. I'm going to use 2 of our available 3 trampolines. Now we've also got the stick on the right and the stick at the top. Just trying to hinder you a little bit. But yes, try and avoid those as well. And of course the evil chopsticks. So we want to have 2 sets of bounces. In fact, the second one is more of a slide than it is a bounce. In fact, going to move it back a fraction. That's not too bad for opening attempt. 29 attempts and 75 seconds. Not a lot really. But more likely to run out of time. You are going to run out of tries on these later levels. There we go. Have some of that. Level 88. One may have been chased by chopsticks, and I've been attacked by an evil yin yang. Anything can happen in a game like this. Got a one and only fan over there. Not many places to put it because the yin yang goes on to the far left of the screen. Got 1 trampoline. It's enough. Provided you put it in the right location. But yes, so many trampolines in this game. More trampolines and gymnastics competition. But yes, basically we'll try and jump through it. With 50 attempts, should be plenty. There we go. Boom and pow. Have some of that. Level 89. Now we can't have a theme like this without an enemy like this. It's a dragon, but luckily it's not a fire-breathing dragon. And we need no sword of sharpness for this one. We've got to avoid it at all costs. But I put this in the same category as the electric eel stage, because there's quite a lot of areas where the dragon will actually go. There's not many areas it won't. But occasional places it will not be going, and it doesn't allow you to put things down, like 1 trampoline right there. Unfortunately, it's not the same with your fan. I'm going to put 1 next to the cloud, but yes, it's always going to be taken away if it's not in use. Click it there and risk it for a biscuit for 40 attempts. Just. There we go. On we go to level 90. Level 90. It's nasty. Really nasty. Not going to lie. This one was tough when I first attempted it in my younger days. But yes, this one, you've got to get it absolutely precise. Now, it doesn't matter where your fans go, I don't think. It's just a question of how much power you've got to get in there. You need quite a lot of power, but also you want to make it quite a nice smooth run up. So I've always tended to put the blocking block just there. But there's not a lot of room for error there, but once you've got it, then you've got to try and work with that. And then try and get to the exit door a much safer, secure one. And move that up a little bit more. We do have 49 attempts. But yes, once you know it's a nice smooth run up, and you've got the timing correct, the rest should be just fairly plain and sailing. There's not really a lot of room for error, but yes, I tend to sort of click the go button just in line with that cloud, or the top of the cloud, maybe just beyond the cloud. Right, we've got a coin. Right, that's the worst bit out of the way, but now we've got to try and reach the conveyor belt. And 1 lift from a Jeremy Dragon box should be enough to do it. But of course, we've got to try and make sure we get this correct. And we have got it correct. But there we go, fantastic, really is good. We'll move on to the final theme now. Okay, we are now heading to the final theme, but we've still got a long way to go in terms of crime. So many branches to deal with, being attacked by everything. Now if you hold both mouse buttons down, you get the fastest and highest jump. The left mouse button is a little jump and the right mouse button is a medium jump. But to get up there in the safest way possible, and the safest way possible and the fastest way possible, use both buttons. We're going to the mechanical zone. Level 91, we arrive at the final theme of this game, and I love the fact the creators thought, do you know what, for an open level of this very, very difficult theme, let's make things easy for the player by giving them a very, very simple open level. Then we're going to chuck the kitchen sink at them afterwards, but there we go, you have 6 attempts and 60 seconds, that's all you have to do. On we go to level 92. Level 62. Now what makes this theme very difficult is, of course, yes, it's been the final theme, it's going to be the most difficult, you expect that. But yes, the creators are quite mean with this theme. What I mean by that is, yes, they're tough, but the attempts you have, the tries, and the time are very short supply. And you've only got 15 goes. And also, you've only got 63 seconds remain. There's not enough time to have 15 goes. But also, if you do pick up additional icons, because you can along the way, it gives you more additional tries. But you cannot pick up additional time, which I think it needs. I think that's the only thing this game needs, but this game itself I think is absolutely superb. Like I say, it's my third favourite of all time. But you don't really have a lot of time to make any adjustments if you've made any mistakes. You're just going to have to risk it for a biscuit and really, really go for it. And hope everything's in the right place, which it is. We move on to the next level. Level 93. Tough. Difficult. Yes, I expect nothing more, nothing less. Now the most difficult bit I've noticed from these later levels is how crucial the starting point is. Now I'm going to move that fan forward 1 pixel. It can be like that. Right, so you can't get much power with one single fan in a very confined space, which is why we're going to use this one at the top. But yes, it's fairly self-explanatory where the items have got to go. There's just not many places you can put them. So we're going to move that down a little bit more and about there. Now we need the Jeremy Jack in the box. I'm going to place it right there as well. But yes, if you make a mistake, it's going to be taken away. You have to replace it once again. But 24 attempts, 77 seconds. It looks good. But is it good? It is good. It's fantastic. Mullet is your password. Level 94. Now this one's actually not too bad, actually. Not too shabby. But yes, it's difficult. But yes, we have seen a few like this on previous levels and previous themes. But yes, it's pretty self-explanatory. Again, where things have got to go. It's like going to the shop. You bought yourself a jigsaw puzzle, you took the lid off the box, and you tip the puzzle piece onto the floor. Now you've got to make it. It's kind of like that. These are our jigsaw pieces. We've now got to put them in the right locations. But we shouldn't die here unless you've been killed by your own fans. We're going to put a Jeremy Jack in the box there, we're going to put a trampoline there. We don't want too much of a gap in between, because he can fit through the narrows of spaces. Quite surprising, really, what spaces Terry Tomato can fit through. I think that is all. No, we don't. We have that. That's quite an important piece, that Jeremy. That's going to be a sudden drop, and we've got to turn around. Right, no issues, no dramas, no worries. Off he goes. Let's see what he can do. Turn around again. Probably not going to happen. No, that means the fan is not in the right location. Move it up a fraction. That should be it now. 26 attempts and 67 seconds remain. I don't believe it. In the words of Richard Wilson, I don't believe it. 25 remain. Keep going. Go on, Terry, you can do this. We can do this. There you go. There he is. On he goes. Level 95. This one. What can I say about this one? It's absolutely horrible. Many lives were lost on this one. What makes this one so difficult is the precision you've got to try and get on this one is incredible. But anyway, you've got to try and land on the belt, which is creating these nuts. However, I think I've messed up already. Right, we've got 40 attempts. Yeah, that's no good. We can't use a Jeremy Jack in the box. Put that over there. We need a trampoline. Now, the starting point is also a pixel perfect. Now, I do tend to use a lot of the backgrounds as a bit of a guide. So, I'm not going to focus too much on what needs to be done here. Now, I'm going to put that there. Pixel perfect. Yes, it is. Place it there. We also need a good finishing point. And we also get up there. Place that one there. But yes, once you land on the belt, then you've got to try and get off the belt and don't be killed by what's on the belt. So we're going to set it to go and see how we go. Right, so the point of entry is not 100% sure at this point. Right, I'm going to move that forward a little bit more. Literally 1, maybe 2 pixels. 1 pixel too much. to there. Right, go for it. What is the worst that can happen? Being killed by the nuts? That's probably the worst case scenario. Yes, there's so much trial and error here, it's ridiculous. Right, no good. Try again. Now, because the belt is bobbing up and down, that can also have a bit of an effect. One single pixel left, we'll go with that. Bingo. Bingo. Brilliant. We'll go with that. Ended up with 72 seconds remain. Okay, level 96. Not that many left to go, but this is also very, very difficult. One that did take quite a few lives also, but a nice idea. Take nothing away from that. But anyway, I suppose it is quite similar to level 60, I think it was, which does seem quite some way away, because basically, yes, the belt is not coming on screen. We've got to put it on screen by hitting the button on the right, and my TV's going to turn itself if you can't see, only I can. But yes, when I first attempted it, and yes, years ago I did, I was using this bottom section by using only jack-in-the-boxes. And yes, they are very handy, but they are more handy towards getting to the ending stages of this screen. Which of course, as you can see, because the conveyor belt reveals itself, it's still some way away. But if you don't make contact with it quickly, it will go back to where it was, away from where we are needing it to be. So we need to get the button, bounce onto the trampoline, and then use the other trampoline by using another digital fan. Superb. There you go. Level 97. Right, this one isn't too bad, but it does have its challenging times. Basically, we've got to try and get over to the other side using only fan power. Now, it's a question of make sure they're in the right location. Once they're in the right location, you've got enough power. Then you've got to try and make sure you're getting through these drills, like making contact with the drills, and then falling off the edge. But hopefully, when you fall off the edge, you're landing on the belt, not on the deck. So we need to move these a fraction more, because we ain't getting anywhere like that. 20 attempts and 70 seconds remain. Not a lot really, but it's all down to timing as always. So pick your point and make your move. Go for it, Terry Tomato. There he goes. Fantastic. 6 seconds remain. There's your code. Okay, level 98. Right, I'm going to try and get through this one as quickly as possible to save time for this video, but it's difficult. Once again, it's difficult, but let's see how we do. So we're going to start things off by using a trampoline, which bounces onto a jack-in-the-box. But we do have buttons on this one. So this button up here is going to open up the door. So we need a blocking block just in front of the door. But we do need additional fan power. So we're going to put one there, hopefully that will hit the button and get over there. Then we need to jump down here and use more fan power here. We're going to use more fan power down here. Now 2 levels ago, I decided to make a change by putting a button on the wall. I enjoyed doing it so much, I decided, let's do it again, shall we? Oh, goody goody gumdrops. But yes, it's difficult when you're ready to find space. So we're going to bounce and then use a jack-in-the-box. Hit the button, and if possible, jump off the button and land on a original item you put down. So basically using it twice. That'll make it easier for future times. And then we've got to try and get up there, use fan power to get over there, and also I'm going to put this right there in line with the door. So that way it's going to be a pixel perfect, it always is in a situation like this. Just in there. Right, we also do need additional fan power, that's going to be the last hurrah. Let's see how that goes. We don't want to spend too much time by just placing items around. Right, place it there, goes there. Brilliant, that's not too bad. Place it there, move it down, 63 attempts, 235 seconds remain. Trying to get through it as quickly as possible. So there. That's not bad. That is not bad. Terry Tomato, that's not bad at all. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Bingo. Bango bongo. Brilliant. Zolon is your password. Level 99. Another very difficult stage. And yes, this one also, many lives were lost when I first attempted it in my younger days. But it's difficult. It is still difficult to this day. Basically, this rig system. Now the issue is not the bit at the bottom, it's the bit at the top. That stick is poking its head out. That's the problem. But you've heard it all before. We're using a combination of Jeremy jack-in-the-boxes and trampolines to get up to the top right section. Then we'll turn around using a classic blocking technique and 2 right-pointed fans. The question is, where do we put them and how much speed and power do we have to get over this final hurdle? So we're going to put a trampoline right up there, and I think that's all the skills we've got. But yes, 60 attempts is quite a lot, but 135 seconds is not. But that's all we've got here. So let's see what happens. So we might have a few deaths here, just a few. Get up there, and then have that final push. But yes, this is the issue I've got. It's trying to get that final push. You've got to have some serious speed to run down that final stretch to a well-deserved exit. And also, we don't want to be hitting our own fans. We want to have them reasonably close. Right, 100 seconds. 62 attempts remain. But we're still getting crushed. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move that, move that block forward a bit more. That should give me more space. Timing, it's the timing. Timing is key here. Right, it's literally within a second, half a second, I think. That's all it comes down to. Go, 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 go! No, not quite. Come on, we can do this. We can seriously do this. It's literally just a whisker, a cat's whisker away. Right, keep it going. I don't think anything else can be done in terms of item placements. We've done it! My goodness me! We did that with 56 or 57 seconds remain. On we go to the final stage. Level 100, we've arrived, but still one more hurdle to get over. But yes, it's been a tough task, but an enjoyable one. But what is interesting, considering this is the last level, level 100 of Bill's Tomato game, this level did also feature on that 5-level demo on issue 47 of Amiga, which of course I've got. And I just think it's quite unusual to have the final level of a game they're trying to advertise on a demo. So before we've actually bought the full game, you've already attempted the final level, or might even got past it. But yes, I think that's quite unusual. But anyway, it's a great game. It's a fantastic game, but we're nearly there. But we've got to try and get over this difficult hurdle. Now, tactic-wise, I have been changing over the years, but that does work, and it worked brilliantly that time. But there we go, fantastic. We move on to the final scene, which doesn't feature here. It features at the top of the vine. Okay, we arrive at the final confrontation. The confrontation between good and evil. It's Tomato versus Squirrel. Now, how you do this is basically the same way you move around the vine stage, by using a combination of either the left or the right mouse button, or both mouse buttons down, press down, to get the biggest jump, which is probably the best way of doing it. However, you've got to try and land on the squirrel's head multiple times. No NG bar on screen, but it only takes one hit to kill Terry Tomato, but you do actually have an unlimited amount of goes. But it's difficult because you've got to try and manoeuvre around and attack him while avoiding attacks of his own as well. So yes, you've got to try and jump on the head as many times as possible. Now I think if you're lucky you can get about 3 hits, but you've got to be quick about it. But also you don't want to be stuck in a corner, you don't want to be stuck on either side of the screen. So when he makes that jump out of the way and then make a jump of your own, if all runs in your favour. 1, 2, we're going to move out of there. But yeah, no NG bar. It would have been nice if there was one. It was difficult. No! Quickly, go, go, go. Just. Right. But again, it looks brilliant. It really does look good. Quickly. 1, 2, get out of there. Right. It's a tough few days for Terry. Mission is very nearly completed. There you go. Brilliant. Superb. Okay, buddy, that's more enough footage. Hope you enjoyed my 2-part long play of this amazing game, Bill's Tomato Game. And if you like what I do, please like and comment. You can find me on most platforms, so in more games you find fairly easily. And lots of videos like this, you haven't been making, and live streams every Friday night. You can time 8 o'clock. It's the highlight of our week. See you soon. It's easy. Ciao, bye. See ya. Okay, resume play. Bill's Tomato Game, a puzzle game for the Amiga. The music was done by Mike Clark, and the concept of the game was that of similar to very similar to Sierra's Incredible Machine. Very similar to Sierra's Incredible Machine. The music was done by Mike Clark, and the concept of the game is similar to that of the... Okay, resume play with the game. This is Bill's Tomato Game, a puzzle game for the Amiga. Jamie, pick up your fan and put it on the left-hand side. There you go. That's what you need to do here. Okay, resume play with the game. Bill's Tomato Game, a puzzle game for the Amiga, designed by Bill Pullen and published by Psygnosis in 1992. The music was done by Mike Clark, and the concept of the game is similar to that of the... Very similar to Sierra's Incredible Machine. Right. So this is technically at level 51. It's a nice thing, got some nice ideas, including teleportation. The trouble is, you've got to jump through the portal at the right time. The one on the left does not tally up with the one on the left. Jasper's here. Made the outtakes. He's hungry. You're always hungry. Right, I was eating my dinner, but unfortunately I've been timed out 3 times, game over. I didn't burn my food, I suppose. There we go, another one done. Poor old Terry though, every time he does a finish. Ah! Several objects hinder your progress by squishing, perforating, exploding, exploiting the toy. Level 61, we arrive in space. Bill's Tomato Game is a puzzle game similar to ones in the Incredible Machine series, completely mouse controlled. So the game is divided into a series of non-scrolling screens, each one being a puzzle. The main objective is to move the anthropomorphic tomato from the square battle of each one being a puzzle. The main objective is to move the anthropomorphic tortoise. My goodness me, how long have you been playing this? Right. Ow, that hurts right across the... Ooh. That hit me right on the tooth. It also pinched my lip as well. Oh lord, that really hurt. Anyway.
The family includes many familiar species variously called pufferfish, puffers, balloonfish, blowfish, blowers, blowies, bubblefish, globefish, swellfish, toadfish, toadies, toadle, honey toads, sugar toads, and sea squab.
That's a lot of pufferfish. Level completion is occurred when Tony makes a successful jump without touching the ground and reaches his destination, and in this case not being attacked by any additional skills. Skills? Enemies, Jamie. It's the wrong place anyway. And also, every time it explodes, any bubbles that go into the atmosphere, any of those make contact with the item as well, will also take them away. So we need 1 bounce from the Jack-in-the-Box, and then we want 1 bounce from the trampoline. Right, what are these called? I don't know what they're called, I can't remember. See, is it clams? Is it clams? Level 80. 80, Jamie, you're arriving at level 80.